Hey, how y'all doing? This is Will Brown with Adapt Performance Consulting and PPD Baseball. I'm here today with Figured Out Baseball, and I want to discuss breathing. I want to look at how to properly breathe in order to better self-regulate and gain better control of our physical, mental, and emotional states. And by doing this, ultimately improving performance. I don't know about y'all, but I've heard a lot, whether it's coaches, players, parents, just scream out to another player in a situation, but hey, just breathe or relax, right? And I don't know about y'all, but anytime I ever heard that, I just think to myself, I am breathing and I'm still not relaxed. So what's the deal? And the reason that is for a lot of the times is because of something called fight or flight. Fight or flight happens when we perceive stress. And then, like, the key word here is perceived stress, because a lot of times with fight or flight, it started off as something to survive on. So if it's an actual threat to your life, then this happens in order to survive. But as the mind has evolved and as we evolved, now it's more just for perceived stress, right? So if we perceive something stressful, then that fight or flight can kick in. So you up to bat, you think something's on the line, and you're performing like you don't want to mess up. Sometimes that fight or flight might kick in. And when that fight or flight kicking in, at this point you have higher heart rate. Your mind can be racing. You don't have control over your body. You can make more mistakes. Your accuracy could be affected, right? All this stuff is happening because of fight or flight. So simply by harnessing the power of the breath and breathing properly, we can counterbalance that fight or flight simply by breathing correctly. So what I want y'all to do for me real quick is just place one hand on your chest, one hand on your stomach, and just breathe normally. As you're breathing, pay attention to which hand is moving more, that top or bottom hand. Okay, thank y'all for that. I just want to bring attention so you know which hand is moving more, because ideally what we want is that bottom hand to be moving more. That top hand is moving more at this point for you. Don't worry about it. It's a skill that takes practice, but we want that bottom hand to be moving more, because at that point, when we're breathing into our diaphragm, within the stomach area, that diaphragm area, that's when we're gonna get the effects of rest and digest. And we can get those effects of rest and digest simply by breathing into our diaphragm. And when you breathe into your diaphragm, you are now stimulating something called the vagus nerve. That vagus nerve is then going to kick in that rest and digest. So the exact opposite of that fight or flight. So now all of a sudden, just by breathing into your diaphragm and breathing properly, you can gain more control over your body. So your actions, your emotions, your mind, your precision, your accuracy, right? Your reaction times. You can think more clear just simply by breathing into your diaphragm. So how you want to do that and breathe correctly into your diaphragm is when you're breathing in, you want your stomach to go out. And then when you're breathing out, you want that stomach to go in. So think almost like a balloon. If you're in a balloon, it goes out, and when the air comes out, then the balloon comes back in, right? So same thing here. When you're breathing in, going out, and then when you're breathing out, your stomach should be coming back in. And this takes practice. Again, it's not like going to the weight room one time, you're getting big. No, you got to practice this, because it's something we're not naturally used to doing at this point. So breathing into our diaphragm is where the money is going to be made, and where your performance will improve when that perceived stress kicks in. You see this with major league hitters, with major league pitchers, college players, college pitchers. They do this before they're about to perform. So before they step on the mound, between pitches, before somebody steps into the batter's box, or between pitches, you see them taking that one or two deliberate breaths, right? So all you need, one or two before you perform, right? Breathing deep into that diaphragm, and you will get those benefits that I discussed earlier. You will calm down, be able to think more clear, and have better control of your bodily actions. So again, this is something we can use and that's at our disposal every day. And all we have to do is harness that power to see the benefits of just breathing properly and breathing deliberately before we perform. So again, this is Will Brown with Adapt Performance Consulting and PPD Baseball. Today I discuss about breathing properly. Check out my next video on awareness. Thank y'all.
Thanks for tuning in to Figure It Out Baseball. If you're watching on the figureitoutbaseball.com website, I hope you check out the Figure It Out Baseball store and grab yourself some gear to help support this totally free resource. If you're watching on YouTube, please remember to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so you keep up with all the cool stuff that we do. For you podcast listeners, we've also got our podcast now available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and more. Figure It Out Baseball, the home of hundreds of free videos from dozens of college and professional coaches and specialists from great schools like this. So tell your friends about figureitoutbaseball.com, the world's #1 online coaching tool.